How y'all doing? Welcome. Nice to see y'all. You're catching you up on your hip hop news, stuff you don't have time. Um, we'll go through. Oh, oh, it's going through. Okay, I'm going through it so you don't have to. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay. Hi. Good evening. How y'all been? How has your week been? I'm doing a random day. Buy Money, how you doing? Care Bear, Miss Texas Flower, Salute, Edward, um, the first, and Mr. Mention Me. You funny, Edward. Thank you so much. I'm so glad y'all can hear me because I'm like, I don't want no technical problems. And I have a backup to the backup just in case. I hope y'all been enjoying the content. Thank you for your likes, comments, subscribes. Um, Thank you for interacting with the community. Thank you for the Patreon members, the brave people that followed me from here, with the nonsense of YouTube and are faithfully following me on Patreon, and the people, donating to my Cash App so I can continue to do this and do the best I can um, for y'all. So there's so much news. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. My daughter. Okay. How you doing? Okay, let's see. Y'all were having a nice conversation. That's the beauty of communities. People just like, hey, how you doing, neighbor? How you doing, such and such. It's your friendly neighborhood boogie woman, the friendly neighborhood savage. We only get active when we need to. And thank you to the people that be taking care of them OV holes in the comment. Shout out to Diego too, who and all the people under his comment. He was going through it because I was away for a few hours, and why would I do that, right? I came back and I'm like, what in the good God gracious is going on? And y'all putting wet belt to ass on the OV holes in the comments. I just be enjoying it. Sometimes I'm just watching for a little bit. Thank you so much. Oh my God, your hair is beautiful. Thank you. And that's what I'm always late because it's like, gel, this, that, and like, taming it down, trying to, I was gonna have a hair channel on YouTube. I opened up a YouTube a long time ago, and then I was like, man, I don't want these people in my hair, like, or whatever the situation is. But thank you so much. That's very nice comment. Um, So I make something more songs to celebrate. Um, this evening. I hope everybody's doing okay. Life been lifing, right? It's like when it rains, it pours, and just stuff be happening, stupid surprises. But we deal with it the best we can, and God will put us through it, right? He might not get you around it, but He might help you go through it. So that's what we're here in this community. The music is healing, just chatting and everything, and getting into these people's business. I was gonna say that too. Your hair is beautiful. Thank you so much, Miss Care Bear doesn't care. Your name is so funny. Thank you. I guess I'm having an okay hair day. It's so much pressure. Yeah, it's not easy being a content creator. It's not easy because you have to have everything. It's like, do I have my notes, the amount of research? And I enjoy it because I'm a writer. So the amount of research just to put these stories together, because I don't have all the answers. Like Kanye said, you don't got all the answers, Sway, but it's like you got to do an amount of research just in case people ask you, then a little something. So hopefully you'll get a lot of information today, some of the topics that we have. We'll get right into it. Drake allegedly pushing propaganda against YG, so he's bored and he's like, can't do anything with I can't do anything with Kendrick, so let me just attack the people. It's like he likes to attack the people around him, or the wives or the sisters or the daughters or anything that you might find near and dear to you, your homeboys or whatever, but he is playing with straight fire. He's playing, it's like you walked into, hell with TNT on your chest, and doused in, in gasoline, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you trying to, get a bang out of life, I guess, because you playing with these folks in red. It's like you baptized in stupidity. So Drake is in love with stupid lessons. He's married to karma. So some people get so much karma that they don't even think it's abnormal. They think it's just their regular life. Like, yeah, my life sucks. No matter what the money. Or they're too narcissistic to even feel like they're being punished or cursed or anything, or that they're paying for any of their sins. They don't take accountability or anything. Mind you, he has four pending cases right now. Four pending cases. He has the UMG like stuff is still, he's trying to appeal that. He got a Missouri case, a Virginia case. He got, with stakes, like that stuff is still some of the stuff is has been settled out of court, but he's still got four situations cooking. He's cooking on all four burners. His karma is still sauteing. Salt, pepper, ketchup, please. Smells delicious. So, and that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So just stupid surprises that he's in love with. Let's see. Well, Drake, you can run but you can't hide. No, them folks in red like to play, have a good time with people, what I've heard. So absolutely idiotic. So Glasses Malone, we're gonna talk about him because Glasses went on live and kind of was like, you know what, and spilled the beans and said, I know for a fact, he didn't say allegedly or not, but was scared senseless for his life. He said, I know for a fact that Drake put money in these streets to pin the case of this rapper named Drake, You're the Ruler, that passed away in 2021. Now, YG had a little bit of problems with him before he died or whatever, and Drake was so-called buddy buddies, but he's trying to pin that. So Glasses let that out. So we're gonna talk about Glasses and everything he said. I have a video that I was gonna post, but I was trying to do too much, and I've been so busy all day. But you know me, I be the midnight crawlers, midnight marauders. If you know, you know. ASAP Rocky, we're going to talk about him on his tour. And just like in an interview, he's been basically saying that he wants to fight Drake. He's like, man, I want bare knuckles, his exact quote. So that sounds like fun. I told you these people be doing the most. It's like they're bored with money. Meanwhile, we're gonna also talk about Kendrick breaking records left and right. While he's probably in the studio in his sleep, having a nice little iced latte, which he loves. His iced lattes, and probably eating a little bit of oatmeal or drinking some tea, and breaking records. Like, what? 2 billion streams? Oh, okay. He just wakes up to be like, oh man, that's tough. That's cool. And chilling, working out, or doing, centering himself, and these people crashing out left and right. The quieter, and check out the video that I posted on the homepage, and that the edit. And I like that y'all like the music, the edit. Alexander O'Neill is one of my favorites. But I have so many people that I love so much music. I'm a musicologist, self-labeled. Um, but and it's called The Psychology of Calm. And so we're gonna talk about that. While Kendrick, some of the stuff that I've been posting, that he's been just breaking records. His music, his features have been breaking records. Everything. There's so many accolades. It's actually hilarious. Um, we're gonna talk about Imani's first interview. And I put a video out for that, so some of you might have seen it, but I'm gonna break it down. Uh, Now, when we talk about Kendrick's records, we're gonna talk about some of his accolades before the beef and some of the accolades after, just to dispel all that nonsense that people be saying and talking about, like, oh yeah, the beef made him famous, and blah blah blah. Yeah, well, he was Pulitzer Kenny before the beef. Like, sit down, take notes, and shut the hell up, right? These people. So we'll talk about that and any other, topics that come up. There's a lot going on. There's way more going on. Um, Baby Kim is chilling, doing great. Momo Boyd was like being all like flirty and laughing when she was being interviewed about hey, do you and Kim have a thing going on? So we'll discuss that, I guess. A little lighthearted news. It's like all this devastation and then the side of the news. So um yeah, Alexander O'Neill, yeah. He always throws up gang signs. Just don't. Drake must not like his fingers. Like he keeps playing games. These people are just gonna just God knows what they're gonna be doing to him. It's like I would not mess around with these folks in blue, red, or LA, etc. Um so the first thing that happened um was they're saying Drake is pushing propaganda, like paying people to start, in those websites that he has, or those fake websites that, just like academics was running allegedly these fake websites or whatever. So this is alleged, of course, but they're saying that he's trying to kind of do things, influential things online, or push people to push the agenda of YG has something to do with Dracula the Ruler's death. Now what happened with Dracula the Ruler was him and YG was having problems before he died, and they were all at a nightclub of some sort, um and Draco got stabbed, but they were saying that YG's people was in the backstage and was backstage, or YG was there. Anyways, they try to arrest YG the day before his verses. I don't know if y'all remember. So the day before, the day, no, the day of his verses, earlier in the day, and he almost didn't make it to his verses with Game, which Game is going viral for that stupid little dance. I mean, that dance, it's a cool dance from the 90s and everything, but him drunk as a grape doing it was just it was painful to watch. You understand? That boy was red like a tomato. He was off that Don Julio, whatever. So um, so they try to arrest YG, and they served him with a warrant. That's what happened. They don't search him, and I guess he was like a person of interest in a few whatever they had cases or whatever they had. They let him go because it was unsubstantiated. They didn't find anything, so he was able to do his verses. But now Drake is like just playing with fire, or doing the stuff online, posting stuff, or just giving hints or whatever. So now Glasses, I have the video. Glasses completely, and I do mean completely, it's like Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I was like, please, Glasses, be careful. Yeah, Game was a complete embarrassment. Game was like, it was a game for him. It was a complete game for him. The whole thing was a game, you know, pun completely intended. Um, like to be, yeah, Momo Boy would like to be part of PG Lang, yeah, but they chose Imani and stuff, so we're gonna talk about that. Um, so yeah, Game was a complete embarrassment. And it was just pathetic to watch. So what happened was, now Glasses went online, and how you doing, beautiful? Mess and DNG, I forgot to say. Um, Glasses went on his live and was like, basically he said, you know what? I'm gonna basically spill the beans. I'm gonna let y'all know that Drake put money out in these streets, like, like put money out to do whatever, to get YG kind of like either hurt or arrested or something. Like he's putting money out in the street. Now, Kendrick on Whacked Out Murals had talked about that. Kendrick said, inconvenience, you're gonna burden the ones that love me. You're gonna put money out in the street. Kendrick talked about that. So it's not far-fetched. You get me? Y'all don't. We don't have to. We could say allegedly just to paint it. Just to throw sugar to a pile of what. But um, so he's saying that he's putting money or whatever. Now, why it got me nervous for YG. I mean for So then let me see what happened. So then um Glasses said that he's not like the like whoever dude. He's like not a gang member by play, like he doesn't play. He said he basically was threatening Drake. He was like, you could play and little do subliminals and play online games. The games you play with me are gonna be real different, like something to that effect. Basically, allegedly a threat and saying, oh no, I move real in these streets, and yeah, and careful and strategic and whatever. So basically, he said he'll put kind of, hands, or he'll just, it's going to turn out terrible for Drake. So then YG did a post that said, now this is where it gets even crazier. This is where I kind of got to get a little nervous. Drake is going to learn that staying out of grown folks' business, right? Like speak when you are spoken to. Like how they raised us. Children, like don't even eyeball us, don't even look at anybody. You get out of the room of grown-ups talking. He's gonna learn. So yeah, so Glasses said he's funding a straight campaign to lock him up and paying to do whatever, to paying anybody and everybody that can help him get him locked up or whatever. So YG issued a red alert. Now this is where it gets crazy. If y'all not familiar, allegedly with a red alert, is basically like a call to action, to the red folks or just some friends, um, to basically come together. So he said, and I quote, he said, B team, tap in. BT, tap in. Now, that phrase is basically saying, it is associated with gangers members unite. It's like Avengers unite. Okay, Avengers unite. And so YG's post was like, oh, Glasses, homie Glasses said that there's a that Drake is putting money out in the street or just doing propaganda to get me. Okay, okay, so Avengers assemble. So that was yesterday or the day before. So yeah, shaking my head. So now we're like at spectating and seeing and what the heck is gonna come. Now, why I was like, Glasses, make sure you're okay, you move all right, because I don't want anything to happen to Glasses, with these stupid idiots. You get me? So, and also Glasses was basically unhinged. You get me? Now, what I like about Kendrick, and I'm gonna refer to Kendrick. Kendrick could be planning world destruction. Kendrick could be planning on Drake or on any of these homeboys that think that, they just don't stink. But he does it quietly. You get me? Y'all get me what I'm saying? He does it quietly. He'll say a line or two and it'll be funny in his lyrics, or he does whatever. But then he comes up with a master plan to make sure he ends your career, your everything, and he takes strategic moves. Kendrick is affiliated. There's a bunch of people that would have crashed out for him. They would have probably been like, "Who you want us to air out? Who needs some air? Who needs to be air out? Oh, okay, bet too easy." And I believe that they would have done it. But Kendrick moves intelligently, and he knows how to get them and how to trigger people without having to completely touch them. So, because it's easy to trigger a narcissist like Drake. If you embarrass him or say he's not the best and Kendrick keeps winning, so Kendrick keep winning, it's burning him inside. That's why he said in his lyric, Drake said, it was the worst July ever. You know what I'm saying? When I heard that, it made me so happy. It was so heartwarming and wonderful to hear that he's so bothered. You get me? Completely. If you hear some of the lyrics on the album, because I heard snippets. I did not download anything. I did not listen to Drake's whole album, because I would have ran straight to therapy or to a bridge. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my ears bleeding but I heard some little snippets of some of the most popular comments. Everybody was just trashing and saying that it was dumpster juice. Okay. But some of the lines were funny. Like he was saying, like it was the worst, and I can't believe my brother LeBron. It's like his girlfriend, like in his head, and Kendrick is his other girlfriend, and Academics is his other girl. Like he just has he thinks everybody should be on his glazing team. So when you make a narcissistic person say it's your fault, like an accusatory, it's like it burns them, like it burns their soul. And when you also say that you're better or prove that you're better by accolades and winning and stuff, and his streaming has been so down, like nobody cares, and he has low pure sales. Nobody hardly is buying the vinyl. Nobody's hardly buying the vinyl of Iceman. And this boy done spent $12 million or something to that effect to promote it. You're correct. He is not a grown up in his mind. No, in his mind, it's like he's like a teenager with bad raging hormones and identity crisis and gender bending in his head. If you know, you know. There's nothing with you saying, "Oh, this is who I am. I like this, I like that," but he don't know where he is or where to go. So, and then he's a pretender, because come out with your truth. If you homie, LGBT LMNOP XY and Z community, then do what you got to do. Then say, yeah, I'm like the Y or the Z or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And just say, I'm this, I'm that. But he refuses and continues to duck lip his life, through his life, and afro puff beret and just do whatever and propose, and have candlelight dinners with all these men. So, and it makes it too easy to make fun of him, because if Kendrick wanted to just do a whole album on making fun of him, it would be the funniest. It would be stand-up comedy, but he doesn't have to. But I know Kendrick's cracking up, because there's been times where Mac Wap has called Kendrick or something like that and has texted him, and even in his live, and Kendrick's response, according to Mac Wap, is just laughing. And I know that that's how he is. He was just cracking up. So YG has called to action to his friends online, and that's now, it's going two ways. Some people saying that he's just trolling. It's like, calm down, everybody. Everything's fine. He's just trolling. And then other people saying, what the hell are you doing, YG? And they're very concerned. They're like, because to be honest, this could be taken as just going back and forth. But then we remember the East Coast, West Coast beef, right? That ended up tragically. Why? Because there's some dumbasses in the world that don't realize, that stuff doesn't have to go to an extreme. So, like I said, I feel like it can go both ways. It depends on the maturity of people. And I understand why G saying, like, you know what, we can handle it. Because to be honest, if there's anybody in the world that needs an ass whooping, is Drake. He already had a career ass whooping and embarrassment tour and a repass with 47, right after 47 funerals, he had 47 repasses, right? And the Super Bowl, which was the ultimate, it was an international funeral, right? He had the most a halftime funeral. But nobody deserves an ass whooping more, a physical ass whooping, just a straight beat down, run you down the block, catch up to you, than Drake, for all the stuff he talks, and just he doesn't learn. He doesn't care. He should be worried about making sure he pays child support right now to his baby mom and her husband, her new husband. I mean, to his baby mom who got married on Father's Day. He should be worried about, hey, what does Adonis like to eat? Who is Adonis? Is that my son? And spending time. So I'm not mad that YG wants to assemble because I promise you that will be the funniest video that you see if Drake is somewhere and he gets into like a personal training match with some friends in red. That would be hysterical. That would make the sun bright and the sun shine. Like that would just be magic in the air. So, and he deserves it, and he would go viral for yet another stupid thing. But the problem is YG announcing it. It's the stuff that's a little scary. He is so confused. He plays so many roles. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know where he's at. He can't read a room. He can't read people's energy. He's so toxic and so disgusting that he's bathing in pools of toxicity with other folks that are just as toxic. So they don't care. They don't know any better. They think this is life. They think that they're so delusional that they think they're living. And that's why Drake gets surprised at every loss. Every time he loses, like when they dropped the UMG case, he was just like, "What? Ninja, what? Ninja, what?" Like, "Oh no, I'm appealing." He's like in shock, in utter shock, because he doesn't understand losing. He doesn't even think he lost his battle. You know. React to Drake's Iceman called it trash. You braver than me, Edward, because there's no way that I would react to that album. I'm sorry, I can't deal with that. There's no way. I'm surprised you were able to deal with that. Because I can't do it. You did the whole album. That's nuts. Um, okay. So yeah, glasses. So now glasses is in the middle of this nonsense because they're having fiestas in his timeline and in his on his Instagram, I mean on his Twitter. The OV hosts are going crazy, saying that this and that and they just like trying to say Glasses is a hypocrite, Glasses is this, and they're crashing out on YG's socials as well. So the red alert, like I said, he is probably going to say he was just kidding, but I wouldn't put that visible publicly, or I would just put an LOL next to it. That's what I would do. Now, let's talk about ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky was interviewed by Jason Lee, and this is where I think Jason Lee kind of pushed him to be like, "Hey, would you fight Drake in a battle or something?" He asked him something about that. He asked him something about that, and it looked like ASAP was waiting to be asked that his whole life. Okay, and he said ASAP basically said, "I don't understand why a grown ass man is still fighting for a girl that was never his, because Rihanna was never official or any type of way with him." Hey Shirley, I just tapped in quickly. All right, nice to see you. So ASAP Rocky is basically saying, why is Drake fighting for a girl that's not his? Because Rihanna never showed him love. Rihanna never showed. She featured in some songs with Drake, right? In the past, they made a couple bangers, and she kept it moving. But Drake took it seriously because Drake is he's like a sociopath, and he doesn't connect with real emotions or anything. So, and he's delusional. So he thought that they were in love, like that they were about to get married just because she featured on a song. When he tried to kiss Rihanna, I forgot when that was, chat. When he on stage, I forgot what award it was, that he tried to kiss Rihanna, and Rihanna was like, like, yo, y'all remember Woody in court with the Young Thug case? Yo, that was my spirit animal. Woody was completely unhinged, Mr. Messy Boots, Texas. Woody was like, he told the public defender or whoever, he's like, oh, whatever she was. She was like, he's like, back up, back up. He went like this in court. Woody was like, yo, back up, back up. He told the lawyer or whoever it was, and he was like, and she was like, whoa, whoa, what happened? And he was like, your breath stinks. Your breath stinks. So so that's like what Rihanna did to Drake on stage. I forgot what that award show was. This boy went in, he thought he was gonna tongue her down and pull a Halle Berry. When Halle Berry be accepting awards and she be kissing all these white men or doing the most. He thought he could pull that off. He's like, I seen it done, on TV in Hollywood. It's a Hollywood thing to do. And she was just like, she dodged it like the plague. She dodged it like, yo, you got straight cooties. He's a sociopath, psychopath. In my opinion, he has everything. He checks off like 12 things. Mood disorder, just name stuff, and that's what he has. Because we can make a case for everything. We can make a case for bipolar. We can make a case for every freaking thing, every disorder that we could think of, because he has no human connection and emotion that makes him a sociopath. People that can do harm to children and then have a sandwich right after, sociopath. He could club baby seals, sociopath. So more, yeah, psychopath, everything. Yeah, messy boost. That's a funny thing. So Rihanna didn't want no parts of him ever. So ASAP Rocky basically said, "Yeah, I'll fight him," and he went crazy. He went off on a rant. He was just like, "Yeah, I'll fight him, and I'll fight him bare knuckles." So he said he used that term. He said, "I'll fight him bare knuckles, like the Irish." So he said, I was like, "Oh, damn," so then that started a war. That started an online thing, and they're like, "Oh, ASAP wants to fight Drake." Drake is being attacked by everyone, right? Thank you, Miss By Money. Drake is being attacked by everyone, and I think he loves it. I think he likes the attention. I think because a narcissist lives off of, thrives off of attention. The attention has to be on them. That's why I've said in many lives and many videos. Remember when I put that video, buns out, suns out, buns out, talking about Drake's buns, respectfully, Drake's abs that look like Hawaiian buns. When it's called Suns Out, Buns Out. That's what I named that video. Cause I'm a silly willy, right? Tendernism. Yeah, he has a lot of tendencies and tendernism. Drake is soft as soft as f. Like I said, I also did another video of Kendrick, like in the cut, just looking wild at like 15, looking hungry, rapping. And when Kendrick was rapping, and I did a side by side video of him at that age and goofy ass Drake in his freaking stupid ass show, be like like laughing like an idiot, and Kendrick on the other side by side that I did was rapping so hard body that the other teenagers around him was like, I thought we was playing. I thought we was just having fun. They just kept looking at him like, I thought we were just having fun. Like if you see that video, you can look it up anywhere and it's on my line. It's on my channel. Like you could see that the kids that they thought they were getting into a battle with Kendrick, they were just like astonished. Like they were like, "Where am I? Like, what's going on?" So it was crazy. Hi, Madman. How you doing? More information about the game versus is heating up in a rap battle. Kendrick Lamar game. Yeah, game wants attention. Let me tell you what I think is happening from all this bunch of losers, right? It's like Build the Bear workshop. It's a build a loser going on. A loser palooza. It's a instead of Lollapalooza, which was the other day, it's a loser palooza. I don't even know how many, like I lost count. Lupe, let's add them up. All the other idiots. When Kendrick comes out, it's gonna be wet belt to ass. It's like kneeling on rice. It's like hold a quarter with your forehead. Like he gonna just, if you know, you know what I'm saying. It's gonna be an outside backyard beating. Whatever he does, whether it's put a rhyme on it, put whatever, the game. Lupe. Jid is sitting somewhere thinking about his life choices. All these people that were pissed off. Oh, we also want to talk about freaking Malice. Oh my God. And this lady that accused him, we're going to put that in the docket, in the agenda. Malice, a lady accused him in Chicago. He went to a hot dog place, restaurant, whatever. She accused him of not paying. She tried to go viral and it ended horrendously for her. Yo, Malice just got new. I got new respect for Malice. So remind me to add that. Yeah, it's crazy. There's so many losers. It's gonna be cancel Christmas on all their asses. Just like they said, it's gonna be cancel Christmas on all of them. Chaos is yo, his Gemini twin is powering up. Y'all think it's a game? And now the funny thing about Kendrick is that he has unique and innovative ways to kick your ass. So when we think he's gonna do this or that, he comes out with something even funnier. Because everybody was like, "Oh, how's he gonna handle Young Thug?" Remember Young Thug? He don't silence Young Thug. Young Thug is thinking about what's in the center of a Twinkie right now. He's like, "Is it gumdrops? Is it lollipops?" He's over there just counting sand. Okay. Why? Because Kendrick did one funny ass line. He's like, "I gossip with my bitch like I'm Young Thug too," and everybody's like, "Hi, Keen, people Keen around the world." I have not stopped laughing. I looped that thing so much it was unhealthy. Actually, I looped that thing so much it was unhealthy. So when Kendrick is coming out, we don't know how he's gonna hit, but it's going to be the most clever, funniest, craziest thing. No matter how angry Kendrick is, he's humorous. Because I cannot tell you that I can't go, no, I'll tell you, I can't go a week without listening to Euphoria. Euphoria powers me up, and all the diss track, whacked out murals, all that stuff. People be taking it like, "Oh, this is a bop and this is cool." You're not listening to what he's saying, and everything he's saying, he freaking means. No matter how many videos I put up of Kendrick, classic videos, vintage videos, this dude at age 22, 29, 16, 14, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 was saying the same thing. Kendrick stands 10 toes down. He said, "I'm going to be the best. I am the best." He said, "All the losers, y'all don't want to battle me." He said when he was 21, "I don't want to battle, but if y'all want to battle me, it's not going to even be fair." He's been saying the same thing. You get me? So he's been doing the same thing and promising an ass whooping for everybody. Career ending moves is what Kendrick is going to do. And people don't believe him. They just think they could just dance and bop their life away. Yeah, Miss By Money said, Kenny never forgets anything. And he's out here watching everything. He's out here watching everything. And that's why a lot of times with some of his lyrics, you're like, what is he talking about? Oh, yeah, this thing did happen. Oh, yeah, damn. He remember, because I don't forgot about Young Thug. I thought Young Thug was busy trying to figure out, am I black or white? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Remember that Michael Jackson? I thought he was figuring out if he's black or white. Remember the cover of his album? I was like, I thought he was lost in the sauce and in space. And then, so I don't forgot about him. And then all of a sudden, Kendrick comes out with a little feature randomly on Keem's thing. And he's like, "Yeah, remember Young Thug? Yeah, I'm back." And I got the best, funniest line for you, boy. Little gossiping asshole. Yeah, take care. And then Young Thug is like, "I'm going to just, go in my corner and figure out my life choices. Thank you. Love always." So he's in the pending file. All these losers are in the pending file. And he's watching. Yeah, Kendrick. I hope Kendrick is watching us. By the way, Day Free, likes one of my stories or whatever and reacted to my story. Um, so I was like, yeah, the boogeyman's watching. He's watching because I know he's laughing. He's laughing at little old us, like, damn, they're loyal little community or whatever. But you're right about that. You're right about that. That is a very strong possibility, Edward. I don't put it past it. Let's see what y'all saying. Let's see what y'all saying. Yeah, it's just been just crazy, goofy. Edward said, "You're so funny, sensitive savage." I've been told. I've been told. Thank you. Um, Game wants attention. He wants attention. These little hoochies, hoochie mama freaking rappers, they just want attention. It's like, "You're mad at me? Oh, great." It's like a turn on. They're gonna have a special night by themselves. If you're not gonna. So they just want any kind of attention. They don't care if it's an embarrassment. Mind you, What kind of attention is Drake getting? Drake is getting humiliation. He's getting ridicule. He's getting his career destroyed. He's losing his money. He just lost a bet. I forgot how many millions he just lost last week. He lost a cool little 3 million. Just putting it down the shredder. That could have taken so many college kids to so many kids to college. That could have paid for thousands of kids their full tuition, and he doesn't just be shredding money out here. And there's karma for that. There's consequence and karma for all that shit he's doing. Everything's gonna be evening out. All that money that he's been wasting. There's kids that need just 3 hot meals, cost nothing to these rappers. And that's why I respect Kendrick, because when Kendrick paid that 230,000, to wipe out all the meals and lunch, school lunches, like the fees that the kids owed, and then on top of that, he put like thousands of dollars in their account. Like, here, swipe for the rest of the year, get y'all little cookies, get whatever y'all need, the extra carton of milk, get the whatever. Here, take all my money. He did it quietly, and it wasn't until somebody slipped up and said something and was like, "Oh, okay," and Kendrick gave that money. So, you know, we finally realized that he had donated. So, but these guys are just wasting money like water, and the universe and God sees all that, and they're getting ready to, like, there's so much karma and so much consequences that is coming to all of them. All of them. Madman said it's going to be chaos. It's going to demolish. Not the game. So the game, yeah, I don't even know. I didn't even care because I thought the game. See, that versus fuel his ego, the game's ego, because all eyes was on him. And while it did look like he had the time of his life, he looked like he had a grand old time being a drunk bum, a weird touchy uncle to all them girls on stage. If you know, you know. If you watch what we watch, he was just like the weird, touchy, weird uncle that you like, man, we don't go near him. We don't talk to him. You get me? Mind you, he got little cases allegedly that he need to worry about. Kendrick will never forget. So Madman said Kendrick Lamar had Bomb First and Not Like Us music video has fitted. Yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah, yeah. You talk about that and everything. And that other stuff that you had told me, Madman, some of the people that know Kendrick, they're not like Kendrick's best friend, and some of the people cannot be trusted. Like that guy that you were talking about, Stat Quo, that went on Justin's was live with Justin. Um, I'm gonna insert a little side note of something that happened now that Madman's here, because he shared with me that Stat Quo. I don't trust him. I don't like him, and I told you I don't like that many people. And he was on with live with Justin. They're funny money to me. To me, they're like inconsistent. Well, anyways, he was talking about what, Madman? He was talking about, what was he talking about, Madman? Tupac Machiavelli killed the bomb first. Yeah, what was, yeah, he was talking about something. He was telling some type of story with Justin. And Justin is like, yeah, he be having all kind of people in his like, okay, I understand he's a hip hop journalist and everything, and he just be kind of very neutral with whatever happens or whatever people say. um so this guy was telling a story wrong or saying some nonsense, and don't you know, Top Dog, this is going viral right now. So this just I just saw this going viral right now, but I had to go live. I was like, I cannot make these people wait. I'll be paranoid. um so Top Dog called in, so you're gonna hear about this. If you don't know, Top Dog called into Status Quo. He didn't call into the show, but he called this dude while he was live. We can't make this up even if we wanted to. We not that good, right? Remember the game wrote Taylor made for Drake because remember the game last name is Taylor. Game craves attention. So he was telling um yeah, so what happened was Top Dog said, tell the whole story. He went on the guy's phone, on Stack Quo's phone. He didn't go on the live. So we didn't hear him. But he said, yo, you telling a story? Make sure you tell the whole story. That same thing happened with J. Cole. Remember? I think TDE is learning some lessons. That while they want to kumbaya with some of these unfaithful little hoochies like J. Cole and all them freaking people that was like Kendrick's brother. Oh yeah. Oh no, we so tight, right? They over there having dinner with schmucks. Okay, they're over there entertaining little kumbaya sessions like, oh no, we made peace, we made peace. The second, like I said before, that J. Cole met with TDE, he done went on a podcast the next day and was disqualifying everything, telling the story about when Drake got hit or whatever, when he got into a fight with Diddy, when J. Cole got into a fight with Diddy, he was telling the story wrong. And Punch had to put a post and said, "Yo, homie, like, what are you doing? That's not the right thing, or whatever." So this time, Top Dog done called. Get Top on the phone. Top got on the phone with this dude and said, "You need to tell the whole story." So I don't care if Stat Quo claims that he's cool with this and that how much history he had with TD. I don't give about none of that, because it's what y'all doing now. Y'all, doing, changing the narrative of stuff, making these people look bad, making, not telling the right story about Kendrick. It was about Kendrick. Yeah. Sadisco was talking about Top Dog. The reason why, yeah, Kendrick doesn't answer the game call. Right. So that's why I bring it up, because Status Quo is saying, here's the reason why it's a talk. Yo, get Kendrick out your mouth. You understand? We don't play about no goddamn Kendrick. So he was saying, no, the reason why Kendrick doesn't talk to um the game is because this and that. Top felt it in his heart of hearts to get on his phone and call these people while they were live, because he couldn't take. He wanted to stop the narrative right then and there. What the hell does that tell you? What the hell does that tell you? That's what I mean. Like, I'm not gonna have anybody on my podcast just talking out their ass and saying whatever. And Kendrick's not gonna call. He's not gonna be whatever. But probably Kendrick contacting. What y'all think about this? Probably Kendrick was like, "Yo, get Top on the phone. Nah, stop this idiot or whatever." So thank you, Madman. The game calls, and that was because game had Drake in Compton. Yeah, he did that. The reason Kendrick. So Top was saying the reason Kendrick. One of the reasons Kendrick don't talk to him is about that 100 video. He was shooting a video. Wasn't he shooting? Wasn't the game Little Disloyal Hoochie is shooting a video with Drake in L.A.? He got the only balls, like he got elephant balls, peanuts to an elephant, elephant balls, to have the nerve to do that. I'm surprised LA let that slide. And I'm not promoting anything, but I'm surprised he got out of that. He was able. I'm surprised they let Game into this versus. Aren't y'all surprised that they let Game? And we watched a freaking idiot, a jester in the court. One of these clowns is like, "Yo, bring a jackass to make me laugh," and that's what the hell he did. So Top Gun got on the phone. They can't be trusted. Kendrick knows. Miss Shirley said, "Thought I was the only one that don't trust." And no, I don't listen. You have a home here. Remember, I'm the unpopular opinion. Yeah, listen, there's gonna come. There's sometimes in these lives where, yeah, we are, divided. We're a little divided. We don't have the same opinions, but most of the time, I have the unpopular opinion. And I don't like I said, Justin has a responsibility. If you call yourself a journalist, to make sure you screen people. It's like, what the hell are we going to talk about in this live? What's going to be? You're going to talk about this or whatever. Or if I was him, I would have been like, so this is what Kendrick told you? I would have asked him. I would have asked that. Is this a conversation you had with Kendrick? That way I'm doing my journalistic, and I'm not even a journalist. Journalism duty to the public to be like, to do clarity. So this is you talking out your ass, buddy, or did you talk to Kendrick? I will clarify it. I'll be like, is this your conversation with Kendrick? No, they cannot stand 5 minutes with me, because I will destroy them, eviscerate them in seconds. Because the type of questions that I would ask, they'll be stumbling like, well, no, well, I don't. Exactly. So this is your opinion. This is like, is it subjective? Is it objective? Like, what are we doing? And he just like, and he letting it ride. I feel like Game was acting like he had a guilty conscience on the stage because he knew he was involving in YG getting arrested. What do you think? Let me tell you something. The Game cannot be trusted. I wouldn't have had him. And to be honest, YG was just playing, he was being diplomatic. But you could tell YG don't want no parts of this man. Like, honestly, he can't really be trusted. YG also has like a good heart, you get me? And he wants to have peace. These were people that were cool as hell. He respects Game's discography, for crying out loud. These were people that was cool as hell. So I felt like YG is literally heartbroken over this thing. Like, he cannot believe, he's like devastated that, look, this clown, we can't really be trusted. So he was on stage because this man was all over him. The Game is funny money to me, anyways, because he done had a candlelight dinner. He's a bad bitch. He was flown in. Yo, you a bad bitch. He competing with other bad bitches, with Drake. He was flown in. He just didn't get the necklace. He didn't get the proposal, because Drake got many concubines. He got different hoes. I got hoes in different area codes. You know. So he got flown in. He got his little dinner, but he didn't get the chain. I don't know what's up. So I think that I agree with you. I think that YG, everybody right now, because of these allegations that can actually end up YG being pursued by cops or just being harassed because of all this propaganda allegedly that's going on, they can put YG in hot water. He was just, investigated and had a warrant on him. So they could put this boy in hot water again. So YG is probably talked to Kendrick and was like, you know what? We need to strategize. We need to do whatever. But I think YG was not playing when he did the red alert warning. Like, I think he was acting like it's a troll. It's funny, guys. But I think that he said it's time to just put this dude out. Drake keeps playing with fire. And I think it's very serious. I may be the only one. Let's see what y'all saying. I think it's getting serious. And that's the reason why we're talking about it. Because Kenny got them together. Yeah. Man said the battle between Kendrick Lamar and Game is heating up, and I can't wait for the boogeyman. And that's the thing, because YG is Kendrick's boy. So that's why this whole thing is like sloppy as hell. This whole thing is crazy. It's back to being crazier than a soup sandwich again. I think that Drake is trying to divide the Bloods and the Crips using the Game. Yeah, he is the opposite of Kendrick. Kendrick done at the pop out. Look at all the work that Kendrick did to unite them, and this guy is literally on a mission to destroy and to undo everything. He's like the villain origin story. He's like the villain, like. And like every villain, that it's like you were not accepted, nobody liked you because you're a loser, and then all of a sudden you're just like, I'm gonna destroy the world. Drake likes to make he likes to make things worse, Edward. And Miss Buy Money said, I think that Drake, yes, trying to divide. Shirley said, I feel the Game was acting like he guilty on stage. Yeah, he knew he was involved in getting YG arrested. So I do think, listen, I don't put anything past Game. I don't trust him. I don't like him. I don't care. He's guilty of everything, because anybody that rocks with Drake rocks with the devil. That's the straight up devil. There's the God's side and there's our side and their side. That's it. There's God's side and the other side. And we, like Cat Williams said, we don't know nothing. We don't want nothing about the other side. There's so many people turn on Kendrick that they are all haters. Kendrick said they're showing their faces. Yes, I'm so glad they're showing their faces. There's so much to unpack in Kendrick's song. Kendrick's too silent to respond to these rappers. No, because you know what? There is, the psychology of calm. Yesterday I put that video, that nice little quiet storm, but there's deeper than that. In his When you're in isolation, there's several things that happen. And if any of you been in a breakup, or or you just keep dating the wrong people, and then like God puts you in isolation, and you're just like, damn, I can't find nobody, and it's too much. You're doing too much and you need a break. Like, you doing too much, you're drinking too much, whatever. And then a scary thing happens where it's like, oh, you almost died, or somebody abused you so bad, they put hands on you, or something happens. A pivotal moment happens, and then you're in isolation. So what happens in isolation? Because that's what Kendrick likes to go into isolation. And do you want to know why? In my opinion, in isolation, you take your power back, you regenerate, you rest and recuperate, right? You rest, you recuperate, and you power up. He wasn't kidding. You take your power back, you analyze things, you think. You're going through your mind and cleansing and clarifying your thoughts. You have clarity in isolation. You could think, you can get back to being close to God, or just being spiritual if you're spiritual, or meditating, or doing whatever you do. You spend time with the people that are important. You value what's important. You start doing inventory. Kendrick manifests good things. Peace is the most priceless thing. But you start doing inventory in isolation. Inventory, right? You start thinking what no longer suits you, what no longer resonates. With dead weight, you can't travel light. So Kendrick used to have and has a lot of people, right? A ton of people that rocked with him and everything. But how many people are his real boys? He could probably count on one hand, because he didn't go into business with all these guys. He knows 53,000 guys that rock with him and will crash out for him. But who did he go into business with? You see? And who are the people that he kept? He only kept people that are sharing his vision, that are working like him, that are creative like him, that ain't about the BS. They want to leave all that nonsense behind and do grown man business, and meet abundance and prosperity. But when you're being disrespected like that, Kendrick is divinely protected. I keep saying that. Why? Because things don't touch him. He keeps winning as they keep losing. Y'all didn't notice that? Every time they crash out and somebody tries to mess with him, they get absolute horrendous, like, bad luck. We're going to call it bad luck if y'all don't want to hear the word karma, right? Where's the bad luck coming from? They just keep losing. Drake has like 1,000 cases pending in court. He has like 4 that we know of, and a bunch of allegedly other cases, domestic quiet cases or whatever. Remember the guy that was painting him, drawing him in court? He was like, "Oh, he's here on a domestic matter, like, i.e. child support." And he was drawing him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm here to draw Drake." And he went live and ran his mouth, and that's how we knew Drake was in court for something other than these lawsuits. And that was months ago. That wasn't like 10 years ago. So in the psychology of being calm and in your space is intelligence, clarity, cleansing your energy from all this negativity, powering up, standing in your power, and strategizing. How am I going to move forward? What am I? What are the people looking at people's actions? So that's what Kendrick, I believe, is doing, in my opinion. He's looking at everybody's action. Okay, this one was supposed to be my homeboy, but added to the list of the 16 people that I'm no longer chill with and cool with. Now we up to 39 more folks that I can't F with, and see how he's gonna move forward. And then of course he creates. He creates. So he's creating a masterpiece. He's creating moves. Look at the moves with the NBA and all that stuff. So, and they're like crashing out. Now it's gonna be funny to see how Kendrick comes out. Madman said the game is jealous and envious of him surpassing him. First of all, the game knows one thing, if he knows anything, is that he trashed his verses. I don't care. Y'all can argue with a tree, argue with your mama, argue with a dog. He trashed it. The game did not win. He entertained us while he lost. He was a daggone fool. That boy done lost his God-given mind on that stage. Why? Because he was just so happy that a narcissist was being fed. That's like a vampire to blood. All eyes on me. Yes, I'm going viral. And in his mind, he thinks he did great, and not knowing that he shredded whatever is left of his career and his reputation. How you doing, Cat Williams? Um, Remember how, yeah, sloppy piece of crap drunk. So the game thought he did great in his mind. But he should know that he bombed this verses. The whatever he thought he was getting out of this verses didn't work out. So him having beef with Kendrick right now is preposterous, that he still wants, that means that he's still incomplete. It didn't fulfill his soul. You get me? It didn't fulfill his soul. All the eyes on him in the verses, he still want to talk trash. Then you got Drake, who's still trying to come up, and the stuff that's going on with YG and blaming, doing the propaganda, and involved. And now Glasses, like I said, is involved because Glasses said, I know for a fact that he's putting money out, and I will air him out if he comes nowhere near me. I'm gonna handle him not like the little internet would. I'm gonna handle him like a real gang member, he basically said. I have the video. I'm gonna put it up. Kendrick Lamar said on his control verse, his Machiavelli offspring. Yeah, he's the energy of Tupac. I have to go exercise. I have great life. Okay, see you soon, twin. Okay, yeah. So in whacked out murals, um, he said, when Kendrick said that, the lyrics, it was not like nothing light. He said, yesterday somebody whacked out my mural. He sees that, because he could have not noticed that. He could have been like, man, I'm on tour. I'm about to be on tour. I'm about to be on tour. I'm about to do this. But he paid attention to that. He is key. He is, in tune with everything that moves. But it's regular for me, he said. That's for sure. That's a regular day. So the money can still, you could have all the money in the world. You could have a ton of haters. He said, but this is what he said. Now everybody thinks this is hyperbole. I'll kill them all before I let them kill my joy. He means every word of it. All this talk is bitch made. I done been through it all. What you endure? It used to be F that ninja, now it's plural. F everybody that's on my body. F everybody. Little backhanded compliments like that quote guy talking about, yeah, I know what Kendrick said and the problem with, put a head on a Cuban link. That's a monument. He's like, yo, I'll head them. His energy is like, what are those movies? Like here, chop him, like one of those war movies. It's like, yo, I'll take all their heads and just make a necklace out of it. Cat Williams, I paid homage and I always mind my business. Half of my profits should go to Rakim, right? I never lose all for a rap battle. But you know what? This is all motivation. If you wonder how I did it, this is like the poetry part. The reason why I'm reading the whacked out murals is because this is what Kendrick felt before when the battle was going on, and he found some people. There were a lot of people on his side, but then there were a lot of people that decided with Drake kind of quietly or giving a little hint, and Snoop posting tailor made and all that. Um, know you a god. He's saying, just like, if this happens to you, know that you're a god even when they say you ain't. He's like, he's just riding in his GNX, listening to Anita Baker, listening to, Keith Sweat, or Alexander O'Neill, or whatever. He said, F apologies. He ain't gonna take no apologies. I don't understand. Like I said, why TD will meet with these clowns. And I think Top Dog calling Stack Quo and Justin uh on his live, and calling Stack Quo to talk and to interfere and to intervene and interject in that live because they're telling lies about Kendrick, says that they had enough, and they're noticing. F apologies. I want to see everybody geeked up. Get ready. Everybody get geeked up, get ready when Kendrick comes out, because they're thinking, a lot of people still saying that Kendrick's coming out in July. That was coming out in July or August or whatever. Well, at the end of this month is the DJ Dahi feature. He said, I'm possessed by a spirit and they can't take it. No matter what you say, you can't make up the mind of a Gemini that already decided he gonna crash out. You know, whatever, they'll call me crazy, that's fine, because they think I'm insane. They call me crazy too, because I don't give a damn. I'm a mini Glasses Malone, but he went a little scarier than me. He went more savage than me. But he's like, whatever, they'll call me crazy. Everybody's questionable. So all these people talking all this nonsense, and like I said, and just letting it slide, all these culture divided, turn me into an Eskimo. I drew the line in decimals. Okay, he's different. So old ass flows, all these old ass flows, all these people, all these young guys doing old ass flows, old ass flows, all these trap little rappers, little this, little that, little whatever. Some of them are alright, but those are just the same old flows. Um, F and Tandra, I want y'all to feel. Um, Against all odds, against all odds. And he still, since he wrote this, since Kendrick wrote this, he done got more enemies, you know? He done got more enemy. What bridge they gonna burn? All of them. It's over with all of them. F everything. If he was mad before, guys, what the hell you think he's gonna be now that he done seen Lupe went on a loser tour, Lollapalooza, Loser Palooza, the game, all these people talking crap. What the hell you think it's gonna be like when this man pops out? Get your cameras ready, get your money ready. Let's start the GoFundMe so we can be out. Okay, so we can be out, but at the same time, Kendrick's also working, creating fantastic music, fantastic art, making business deals with the NBA, creating a movie. He's doing a movie. Yo, Kendrick is gonna come, and then it's the funniest thing to me, because Drake want to be like, yeah, size 7. Yo, that's size 7, size 8. Making fun of Kendrick's shoe size on ends it your career, your entire career. Okay, peak. That was peak. Look at you fighting for your life. Um, Fighting for your life. And what career is left from Game? Game can't focus enough. He's a freaking drunk. He can't focus enough to make an album. And even if he does, and by the way, Drake's streaming numbers and pure sales, all that is done. Is trash. He don't got nothing. There's no staying powers. He can't sell his vinyls. He can't sell nothing. Nobody's trying to buy that crap. Nobody's trying to. It shebang the hell out of here. It shebang this way out. As soon as it shebanged in, it shebanged out. So ain't no sympathy. This is hilarious. Beautiful message. Edward Drake, rappers who diss Kendrick will be reincarnated. Kendrick is reincarnated into like all the villains ever put together and a spiritual warrior. Um, Everything's hilarious. Ain't no opinions. All these opinions, but no power to carry it. Movie scary. He said, teleport bullets, bullet road, and dig up all my relatives. He's taking the power of the earth, the sun, moon, and the stars. They can shebang. They shebanged in and shebanged out. Grand opening, grand closing. Okay, nobody trying to buy that vinyl. And the 3,000 pure sales, whatever the hell he got, that was Drake buying it. And then he lost 3 million. Last week or however long he lost. I know that it's hard to believe. And remember, he sold his company. He's trying to sell his company. Then he getting sued by trying to sell his company. People be thinking he got money. If you got 20 million and you spending 40 million, you got less than somebody that got a $30,000 salary a year and only spends like 25 of that and still got a little $5,000 to put away. They got way more money. You feel me? Yeah, that's why. Yeah, Diego is laughing because we back at it. Because we back at it. You in denial. You is in denial. F everybody, fuck everybody empathetic to that side. Everybody empathetic. And that goes to you content creators that be like trying to, unite the culture and just think it's funny when all these Kendrick haters be on your podcast saying the most atrocious things and the most derogatory things and embarrassing him or trying to embarrass him and trying to talk down on his discography and all these jealous little, it's like I said, it's a loser palooza. Instead of Lollapalooza, they're in the Loser Palooza. Make Cat Williams exterminate them because they're pests. Okay? So, like I said, then pull over, yeah, make bare your soul and put your heart up in it. Well, I did whacked out murals, but ain't no legends if my legend ends. That's why he said that. So I don't know what's going on, but I know that Glasses crashes out over Kendrick or YG or whatever. He believes in, like, I know he sees, and he was talking about his gang. It's like his community. It's like his brotherhood. And there's divided opinions about that, but he don't play. Like, he don't play about his friends or people that that he rocks with, and he don't play about Kendrick. So, because that's why Glasses be getting frustrated in his live, and he's like, "Yo, I'm tired of talking." Like I be like, "Yo, drink some water." Like I just be feeling like, he's just gonna have some type of attack. And that's why he in the last thing that I'm gonna put up, that I'm gonna post today, is him saying that he want to throw hands, like he want to, like ASAP Rocky saying that about Drake. He wants to, go bare knuckle and fight him. Everybody's just, it just sounds like it's about to be WWE up in this piece. Like everybody's at war. That's why I said, and I know my title sound redundant, because everybody's crashing out while Kendrick's chilling, and he's cracking up. I'm sure he's cracking up. What did Drake keep his Drake curse up losing all his money? Drake will be broke. That's what I'm saying. Drake is enjoying his downfall. I have a video titled that. Drake is enjoying his downfall. People don't. It's like, how he has that song, Janet, shut the fuck up, right? It's like, Drake, shut the fuck up. Nobody. He forgot what name he was supposed to name it. He should have just named that crap, Drake, shut the hell up, because nobody's trying to hear that stuff. Nobody cares. They're not buying this stuff. They're not buying his vinyls. That, like I said, it's just it's on ice right now. His vinyl is on ice. His streaming is on ice, and whatever other streaming allegedly he's buying. So let me talk about now, because people, there's the same old narrative, like people saying, "Oh, Kendrick is successful because they keep accusing Glasses, they keep accusing all these people, like y'all only go viral when you talk about Drake." They keep saying that to me, like, "Oh, you just love talking about." First of all, I don't give a damn about Drake like that. I only talk about him when his stupidity level is so high that some shit is about to go down, and so I'm announcing it because I'm predicting, I'm being prophetic, and the ass whooping that is coming, the ass whoopings, my bad, that is coming his way. So I just want to, put my bets in early. You get me? I just want to put my bets in early. So for the people to talk about, because there's still those stupid idiots, they should all be blocked some way, somehow. I wish they did a blocking, of anybody that says a sentence. I wish I could do that. If you say Drake is better, they should. I actually put some of those words as tags to be blocked, but I wish I could do that on all social media. So anybody that has a sense is like, Drake is better, Drake is this, they automatically get deleted. Well, on my page, they don't last, like, they last seconds. That's why a lot of y'all don't see them, because it's like, eliminate them right now. Make Cat Williams and them proud. Riri's going to sneak some quick little Texas, your sense of humor should be studied. I don't know, man. We could out silly each other. We could at least, you could go blow for blow, silly for silly, because no. Yo, yeah, that's like a funny bone. I swear to God. He said Riri's gonna throw some hands. She's gonna sneak some little hands up in there and just be like, you know what? A couple slaps, nice Caribbean slap. Like a nice Caribbean, like just slap a couple teeth out real quick, just real smooth. For all the trash he's talking and about her, Drake is in a lifelong battle with himself, but and the world, because he's battling with YG. He's trying to get Game. That's why he flew Game out. And he's like, you mean the world to me. On the candlelight dinner. And their faces were glistening in the moonlight. You get me? So that's why, because he Drake was only doing a ploy. He was playing the part of separatism, separating all of the West Coast. He's trying to separate it. He's trying to separate the West Coast, and any person that was Kendrick's friend or whatever. It's like, look, I got the West Coast, because he's still not over Kendrick's verses when he said, "I'm the king of the East, king of the West, and both hands I'm juggling everything. I'm king of everything." And he is definitely not over. And it was the 1 year anniversary. I should have put something up of when Kendrick was in freaking Toronto. for 2 daggone nights. And everybody was like, oh, Kendrick Lamar, and him selling out Toronto. This man has the ball. Like, yo, he Kendrick is a braveheart to even go there. Cause I was like, remember Rick Ross done got slapped. He went Rick Ross is a hot diggity mess. He went to Toronto and got slapped silly and was like, which way do I go? And got the hell out of there. He found his way after he done got up. It's like, somebody tell me where I'm at. He was disoriented. They done slapped him silly. Drake's goons out there. Remember? So I was like, damn, Kendrick's going to Toronto for 2 nights. And they interviewed SZA, and her little crazy ass was like, scared where? I think Jimmy Kimmel was like, yo, are you scared of going to Toronto? Because, Drake is there, whatever. And her crazy little self, which I like, she was like, scared where? We're going to have fun. she's crazy. She's funny. They begged him for an encore. And then that one of my viral videos that had like 80K views was some girl was like, somebody called Drake. Somebody called Drake, on the phone or something like that. She was like, somebody check out Drake. Like, people in the audience were being so disrespectfully, deliciously disrespectful. Plus, they had the best disrespectful Drake t-shirts ever. Ever. I forgot some of the t-shirts, but I put it on. I posted it last year. I posted the merch was savage in Toronto. And so I would go Toronto and perform. Oh yeah, I was worried. Yeah, I was worried, and I was so happy when he rolled out presidential style. He had over 100 undercover cops, regular clothes, and 100 police officers, in uniform. And he had, like, I don't know how many SUVs and stuff. Because the thing is that they had to park the vans. They had to park the tour buses. They stationed them, so they were traveling in a bunch of SUVs, a bunch, because that crew was big. It wasn't just the dancers, the traveling engineers and all that stuff. But the way they traveled, they done clear up the path. All these cops were lined up like tree lined streets, cop lined trees, and the whole avenue. They were just like, I was catching the footage. I was like, oh snap, yes, Kendrick, because the way he came out in other venues in PA or different places, it wasn't that crazy the way they left. So, and even in other venues that he had 2 nights, it wasn't like that. It was cool. Like, they had they left the tour buses station in the parking lot of the venue, and then they left in SUVs, and it was cool. But in this case, it was crazier. It was crazier. So I'm glad that he protected himself and didn't, uh didn't take chances. Because remember, bottom five. Remember bottom five, whatever his name is, bottom five. Wait, what y'all saying? He sure did get out. That said, nah, I'm gonna hang out in your house and sell it out for 2 days. It was outrageous. It was one of the best things I've ever seen. It was absolutely diabolical. Hold on, I gotta connect this stuff. It was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. So protect himself of top five, knocking on every hotel's door or something. He was trying to get in. He was trying to get in to see Kendrick. Um, 1 second, guys. Hold on one quick second. I gotta plug in my stuff. 1 second. 1 second. How do I do this? All right, 1 second. All right. I'm still here. Okay. Okay, I figured it out. Okay. All right. Gotcha. I'm still trying to figure out technology. Yeah, top bottom five, bottom feeder was looking for Kendrick, knocking on every door in um yeah, I'm hanging out in your house and selling out. The people were loving it. And then they had a party. They had a party at New Hope King. Y'all remember the party? They continued the concert at New Hope King. It was the most amazing thing I've seen. Have a good one, everyone. Okay, Madman. So let's see what else we have. So these are some of the records that Kendrick had before the beef. Before the beef, just to clear up and bring it back into perspective, he was Pulitzer Kendrick. You understand? So he had a Pulitzer. There's no beating that. No other rapper has ever had a Pulitzer Prize. So there's no beating that. Yeah, presidential motorcade. It was everything. It was impressive because, listen, respectfully, one thing I'm going to say, all of these great rappers like Nipsey, they were too comfortable. I've been saying that. I know that his name was like a neighborhood nip. I said, yo, the hood, sometimes there's knuckleheads and people that are jealous. They're looking at your ring like, yo, that can solve all my financial issues. You get me? Like, and some people have no sense and they don't care. They want to be known and famous for being the one that off a rapper or whatever. They don't care. So look at Nipsey. You understand? So I'm glad Kendrick is way more sensible and was like, nah, I ain't trying to do that. Um, and I'm sure his family told him, like, you better not be out here. You better be protected. Um, so so what else he did? He had already 17 or 18 Grammys. He had an Emmy award, okay? He had an Emmy award for those of you that are wondering. He had an Emmy award for the Super Bowl of 2022. He had already been on the Super Bowl, but he was there with Snoop. And to be honest, when Kendrick was on that Super Bowl, his demeanor was kind of quiet. You get me? Like his demeanor, if you know what I'm saying, you know. He was kind of quiet. When it was his own Super Bowl, he was like thriving. You know, at the end of it, he saw the behind the scenes, he was like laughing and it was a complete difference, you know. Yeah, rest in peace to Nib. He was a Oscar nominee. He was nominated for an Oscar. What Oscar? He was nominated for All the Stars from Black Panther. And by the way, they have a new Black Panther actor. Um, they have a new Black Panther. So he was nominated for All the Stars. He had won a bunch of VMA awards. He was BET's most awarded rapper and he had an Emmy, a Pulitzer, and an Oscar. So what the hell are we even talking about? The reason why I'm mentioning this is because for the people that keep saying, "Oh, the beef and Drake and all this nonsense," and then after Drake, of course, he got 5 more Grammy. He got 27 in total, 27 Grammys. He did his own Super Bowl. He did the highest grossing rap tour. He had NAACP, double platinum on Goosebump, double platinum damn album selling streaming billions. So he's still, and he's creating a movie and everything. So he's busy. He's going crazy. All right, let's talk about top five has recently threatened to come to LA about the YG thing. Oh my God, is that right, Miss Buy Money? Oh my God. So another loser has risen. Another loser has risen. You can't make this up. And I believe it. And because he's been like quiet for a minute. So top five is threatening to come out and just it's like they eliminate them right now. Like Kendrick said, they all want to get arrested, I feel. I feel like they all want to get arrested. That's crazy. He has a lot of trophies and a lot of enemies, Edward. He has his trophy collection must look outrageously amazing. Excuse me. So it's just out of control. Like all the stuff that's happening and all the people, it's like a rumble. It's like a rumble in the streets. That's what I'm saying. The more Kendrick is quiet, the crazier the streets are getting, and all these people battling each other. So I don't even know. But anyways, let's talk about Top Five would never do such a thing. He would get aired the hell out. You understand? And Top Five was kind of beefing with Drake last we heard. Do y'all remember that? Because Drake must have stopped paying him, or the paychecks were a little late. And he was like, yo, I know stuff, or he was saying some nonsense. He was just, saying a couple little nonsense. That was last we heard from him, and he just chilled the hell out. He said, "Don't let me have to come to LA or something like that." Oh, please. What a loser. That's ridiculous. So that's why they keep us busy with hip hop news. That's why they keep us busy, because they're always doing something. And there's even more news that I haven't even covered, but these are the top news. Now, yesterday, Imani, oh, by the way, let me tell you what happened with Malice. Did y'all see Malice went to some hot dog place in Chicago or something, and they're known for telling their customers off and cursing them out, and they think it's the funniest thing and the best thing since sliced bread. They know to like banter and curse you out and tell you off and put you down. And some people can stop going to there and just love it, right? So Malice decided to stop there this weekend or whatever, and he ordered, like, they're very known they're famous for the hot dog and all, like chili and all this mix and all the kind of hot dogs that you ever dreamed of or whatever, and sausage fest. Respectfully. So Malice went in there with his security team to order, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're Malice," and stuff like that. So the main character, that stupid chick, was like starting to be loud and trying to, have a viral moment and curse him out or whatever. But she didn't know that one of his crew members was filming. So when he left, they left. He just walked out or whatever. Now he walked out without pain because, well, let me just say this. She went live. Did y'all see that? I saw that. Your music diva said I wouldn't spend any money there. My comment is under Malice's thing. You can see under Malice. I said, because yeah, I went. I have some little interactions under his post, because the way he got her so damn good. Somebody give this man an Oscar. He got her so damn good. Yo, this is why all his lyrics, he means it. Salute to motherfucking Malice. The way he got this damn biatch out of there, eliminated, rejected. So she done went live and said, "You dumbass peanut head." When I tell you she was disrespecting a legend, she was disrespecting him. There was not one thing. Nobody in their right mind would think that was funny. She literally was saying, "You dumbass peanut head, you ugly mofo." And like, when I tell you she was disrespecting, I can't emphasize it enough. So people that seen it, they know what I'm talking about. There was nothing funny about it. And she was like, "You cheap bastard, you got all this money and you can't even pay, and don't even leave me a tip," or something like that. I saw that. It was crazy. I wouldn't spend. Yeah, I would never go there. Horrible service ever. I would never. So I said his throat. So cut into. Wait, what you said, Miss Buy Money? Now Drake is back. He said don't. Okay. Um. So okay, okay. So what happened? So she went viral. So you know what? His editing team did an edit, like a funny edit, and they caught her in 4K telling his security guard, the hot dog is on me. The hot dog is on me. So the editing team, whoever edited the video, it's on Malice thing. I hope he still has it. They slowed it down. They said, "It's on me. The hot dog is on me." And they played over and over and over the whole. They actually played the whole thing when he got out the car to order it, when he had the conversation with them, and when he was in the car eating it. So whoever, that was checkmate. Whoever was was editing knew that, yo, you got to record because in this place or whatever, they were editing at the right time. You know what I'm saying? So they caught her saying, "It's on me, it's on me," and they done played it back. And then after they played it back, he posted the edit on his page. He posted, did a post, and they done had her for breakfast. Twitter done dragged her to hell, and the whole establishment. And we trying to, like, not support it and just boycott that whole place. So then after that, she was like, "Oh yeah, it was all fun and games. We like to have a good time," or something like that. Piece of trash. So then everybody's like, "Yo, we apologize for Chicago. I promise you, we are so friendly." First of all, respectfully, I don't even want to say what I think. Shot Town, yeah. Chirac, nah, no thank you. No thank you. That's just another just bad thing, man. So no thank you. She should be ashamed. She has no shame, no class. And I said, so my comment was like, nah, I don't want my food with a side of toxicity. No, thank you. No mother effing thank you. And that was a feeble attempt at humor. That was a feeble, poor attempt at humor. And she want to go viral. Now she is viral for being a dumbass and a jackass. Congratulations. You played yourself. So that's what happened to Malice. I felt so bad because that dude will donate and pay for everybody on the line. So that's just a little no, yeah, never again. So like Imani had her first interview with Pigeons and Planes. This Pigeons and Planes. So she had her first interview. Now here's the situation. They asked her, and I put a video up already. They asked her, "Hey, how come no rollout?" And this is gonna be my opinion, so it might be divided. She get arrested for accusing. Yeah, she should get arrested, Edward. Yeah, you're right. And yeah, called him a thief. Yeah, she disrespected him. Yeah, I just read that. Yeah. So Imani, one of the first questions they asked her, tell me how y'all feel about this, because we might be a community divided. It's okay, everybody got their own opinion. I respect y'all, love y'all the same. So they said, "Hey, why no rollout?" And she said, "I want the music to speak for itself. I want the music to find the right listeners," right? By the way, I did research on her, sales and her streaming and all that stuff, right? When she first, and another thing she said was that she was found. So they said, "How did they find you? How did you run into PG Lang?" And that she's been with them, like she said, 6 years. She claims it was 6 years. Okay, cool. Since the pandemic and everything. And I've seen her in 2020. I, I saw her in 2022, and stuff like that. And at the Chanel, like she was hanging, I seen her coming out of the thing or whatever. So then she said that Dave Free done slipped into her DM, y'all. Let me say it again. Dave Free. She said Dave Free DM'd me. Now I seen her page before she was on PG Lang, okay? And she literally had like three things. One of them was her sitting on a couch. It's like it looked like X-ray effect. And I think two of them were her singing. One was like in a guitar, like very simple, and then another one was like a little singing a little bit more, whatever. So she said that Dave saw something in her, and that he slipped into her DM. He DM'd her and said, "We can't promise you anything, but we're gonna work with you or whatever." So they were, I guess, developing. So, and it confirms what I expected, because I knew that it wasn't Kendrick that found her. A lot of people were saying that it was Kendrick, and it wasn't. So Dave Free had to, I guess, convince Kendrick and say, "Hey, this is Imani," or "Let's work with her," or whatever. And Kendrick likes to take chances on people that he think have potential. She could sing, you get me? She could sing. She has, talent and everything. But I thought it was like a surprising thing. So her album Paper Cut, on demand, the on demand. Um Yeah, the on demand. And so this is what happened. The first week that she was out, the first week she was streamed. By the way, she only had like 30 or 40, I don't know, like a few listeners on Spotify before. So her first streaming numbers were 744,000, and that's excellent. But that was the beginning. You get me? That was the beginning because everybody was curious about her. So that was the first week. She came out June 6th or June 7th. Okay. So that was her first week. Then after that, the second, and she came out on let me see, number 19 on, let me see, on iTunes. She was like number one for the first week on iTunes R&B, and she was on Apple Music. She was she was on one on iTunes, and she debuted on 134 spot, 134 on Apple Music. And she was in the Billboard, I think, like top 20 for like a week or so. But she did lose some engagement. So then after that, that first week, like after July, she went down to like, it was like 100K people streaming her or whatever. And then it's like at 70 or something like that, streaming the album. So it's my interpretation that part of the reason she's doing a rollout, and by the way, the interview is a rollout. So I hope she knows that the interview is a rollout. What I said in the video that I posted up was, she's a new artist, and I know they like to be mysterious and they like to show mystique. But when Kendrick was a new artist, right? He was out here doing interviews, signing autographs, connecting with the people. He was at Best Buy performing, doing little live performances and everything. Another thing she said is the rollout is the name PG Lang. Now that to me was kind of weird because I do agree that, look, I'm from PG Lang. I don't need a rollout, but that sounds a little kind of, you get me, like a little conceited. But she can lean on just that. So I agree that the rollout is the name PG Lang, because 744,000 people that first week were streaming her like crazy. So now people are like, you know, I guess she, you know how it goes, that sometimes you lose a little bit momentum, and now she is connecting, trying to connect with the people and do interviews and do some kind of things, because people don't know her. And I understand that she can just let the music speak for itself, but at the same time, we want the human connection. People want some type of connection. And then here's my theory on that. Baby Kim had a successful first album. For crying out loud, he had family ties on that thing. That is the Black people national anthem. He had family ties as a hit. He has so many hits. And what did he do? He had a rollout. And he was the first artist on PG Lang. You get me? And he was already known because he was Kendrick's cousin. So if he has a rollout and he's connecting with fans, then it's them taking a very big leap of faith to say she don't have to really connect with her fans, and her saying like, hey, the rollout is PG Lang. So a lot of people, are commenting on that part online because she said the rollout, and I fell back. She said, I listened to it one time and I fell back, right? So the streaming is 744,000. Why? Because everybody was curious. They're like, yo, the first lady in PG Lang. And mind you, that Day Free found her. Day Free found her. So, you know, Day Free had to sell the idea. And I know that she's talented and I know everything else. But the reason why people are uh, doing a lot of viral reactions on that is because she said the rollout is PG Lang. Like it almost seems like, yo, I don't need nothing else or whatever. And that's why my comments in my video that I uploaded yesterday, I said you still got to put in the freaking work, and also you got to be humble. Like You have to stay humble because it could all be, taken away. And there's certain things that don't work out. Remember Tana Leon? Tana Leon was mad talented, but certain things didn't work out and he was out of there. He was, to me, outrageously talented. He was so mystical, magical. His voice was something else. That boy was cold as ice, boy. And he was out of there. They discontinued working with him, and they took him out of PG Lang because there was a difference in creativity, and also I heard he was running his mouth and stuff. um so the national turn up anthem of this day, what is it? The national turn up, yeah, yeah, so Baby Kim again had family ties. When you have family ties as your anthem, as the national anthem, and you're Kendrick's cousin, he could have been in an interview like, my rollout is I'm Kendrick's cousin. You know what I'm saying? Hello, is this thing on? Yeah, hi. My rollout is I'm Kendrick's cousin. Bye. And we would have been like, dang, he a little conceited or whatever. But we would have been like, look, his talent is so amazing. Those freaking songs he puts out are outrageously good. So it's like, man, it's like coming that, it's coming that, we would have went along our merry way singing Family Ties. So yeah, so that's what my explanation. Thank you, Miss Money, Miss Buy Money. I'm a big SZA fan, and that's the thing. To be honest, if y'all want my honest opinion, I think SZA could sing better. Please don't shoot. I think SZA can blow. SZA is reminiscent of, you remember like all them people like back in the day, Denise Williams, if you know, what I'm saying, all these women that can sing and got all this soul and stuff. There's so many unsigned hype. That's why my mashups are amazing. Some of the music that I find of unsigned hype of people that sing amazing. Y'all stay asking me like, who are these people? What is this? I know fantastic musicians and fantastic rappers and fantastic male, female singers. And so that was just me. No, I thank you. I agree. No, we twinning. We twinning. A lot of people may disagree, and I respect it. Some people like, yo, that's my jam. That's my jam. But she lost engagement. So right now she's got about 70,000 people streaming it. So it went down from 744,000. So yeah, she almost had close to a million streams that first month, or first week rather, excuse me, because everybody was curious. Now, the opposite holds true with Kendrick. When he put out Damn, you understand, he had how many, I forgot how many streams that he put out. When Kendrick put out Damn, what happened with Damn? Damn is now 2 billion. So it grows. Uh, let me see how many streams did the Damn album have first week. First week. Accumulated first week streams in the United States release. Oh, y'all not gonna believe this. So the first week he had, wait a minute, he had, I don't even know if that's correct. Total streams in the first month was like 300. Dag, wait, hold on. It's like millions, 300. Lord have mercy. Um, how streams does the Damn album have now? Well, now, yeah, we have. Now I just recently put a post. Yeah, the Damn album. So what I'm trying to say is 11 billion. Okay, I'm done. 11 billion streams. So what happens? So when we analyze music, right? When we analyze music, we say, okay, you're fantastic. First week, everybody's whatever. Yes. PG Lang, they need to do a promotion. The thing is, she also said, your music diva, oh, nice to see you. Nice to see you, member. And all the, shout out to the members, Miss Buy Money. Shout out to all the members. Um, she said, I love the freedom that PG Lang, that interview was very telling to me. She said, I love the freedom that PG Lang it gives me. So this is what I gather. And I'm the unpopular opinion. So I'm sorry if you disagree, we could still coexist. So basically she said, um, Dave Free, slipped into her DMs. Okay, he done found her, and then after he found her, he had to sell the idea, because you remember that uh, Day Free had on his story, when the week after she came out, they were like having dinner. She was having dinner with her. He was taking her picture, just like Baby Kim was taking Momo Boy's pictures and being all lovey dovey. I don't know. I'm not trying to start a rumor or anything, but he was like all big on her. So he had to convince Kendrick. So from 744,000 streams, I don't think she doesn't have. I'm gonna be honest. You can look it up yourself. I already did this research and it looks crazy, okay? It looks crazy because I've been at it for days because I knew I was trying to go live. So I checked Spotify, I checked Billboard, I checked everything, and she's down to only thousand, like 70,000 or whatever. So that's the opposite of the Damn album. The Damn album just came in like a storm, like a thief in the night. The first week streams, they're talking about 340, like just 340 million streams. They're talking about. I said she needed to pay attention to what PG Lang had to teach, because she would get a master class in how to be a great artist, right? But at the same time, this look at how they're look, I'm gonna say something that's gonna be kind of wild. I feel like Dave Free is like her manager, and I feel like Kendrick is Baby Keem's manager. You get me? If you know, you know, right? How is Baby Keem's rollout? Tremendous, spectacular, fantastic. I call it a Coming to America movie. Y'all remember the Coming to America movie when they're throwing the rose petals on the floor, and King Jeffrey, and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, and not just that, Baby Keem had a successful ass tour and album. He was touring with his cousin in the midst of Around the Big Steppers. So that should have been his rollout for his next album. And Kendrick said, nah, we're gonna do a listening party. We're gonna do a free concert in New York. You gonna sit there, and as a matter of fact, I did a side by side of Kendrick signing autographs in 2013, 15, and Baby Keem at record companies signing autographs, meeting the people, making jokey jokes with them, and connecting to the people. And this is Baby Keem we're talking about. He don't need no rollout. So she does. I agree, Miss Texas. She needs to learn how they're doing it. But I understand they're giving her freedom to do whatever, being whimsical. Don't you think somebody sat with her and said, y'all need to do an interview. You need to do an interview. Right. Baby King's rollout was straight fire. The way he was going from it was organized too. I'm sorry, I see a difference. And maybe it's just me. They had a schedule. We're gonna sign at these record companies, at these record stores. We're gonna be in the city near you. We're gonna be in this one. We're gonna be in New York. We're gonna do the Vegas day. Everything was done. His merch was already done. His merch was already done before the tour. They announced the tour. Here are our tour dates. Everything is booked and busy. Everything was organized. So that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at a drastic difference between her rollout and his. So I know they're a very experimental company, and they're probably experimenting. Why, if she didn't want to have a rollout, why is she sitting down doing an interview now? An interview is a rollout. So what I suspect that they're gonna do is that they have regrouped and was like, yo, we need to make a plan and do stuff, because she don't got merch, she don't got vinyl, she don't got anything. She don't have anything. She has that first video. The first video was Mind Games, and it was only streamed 200. It had only 240,000 streams. It had 240,000 streams or something. I don't know how many views it has on YouTube. Yeah, I could look it up. Games. How many views it has, but it only was streamed. It has 82,000 views, and it's been 2 months. You get me? It has 82,000 views, and that's good or okay, but I could tell they're regrouping. I could tell they're regrouping. And they, are saying, okay, uh we need to do interviews with the fans, because chick, it's like that song, you might see Ti song, you might see me in the street, but you don't know me. You don't know me, right? We don't listen, we don't know you. So a lot of people listening, and they're like, yo, it's cute, it's nice, she could sing, and they're not staying engaged. I'm just saying the numbers. And Kim was hungry to get back on stage, correct, and with his fans. And she's like, um, the rollout is PG Lang. So I was like, when I saw that, I was like, uh-uh. That's it's just, oh no, that is just okay. you know? She was just like, when she said that, I know she's getting a lot of flack for that one. Kim was hungry. How the hell Kim is related to the man that started PG Lang, and he's hungry as hell? He's hungry. He's like, he was so hungry. It was his idea to go to New York, because he loves New York, or he lives in New York. Remember, I say that a lot in my life. And was like, he literally put on Instagram, I can't wait till the tour starts. So New York, get your tickets. It's only $100 or whatever. Meet me tonight at 9 p.m. And he nagged Kendrick. Kendrick, we gotta do something. Stop playing games with me. I can't wait 3 months after I drop an album for my tour to start. Stop playing. And they went, and that thing was on fire. They set New York City on fire. On fire. That thing was so lit. They had like flags all over that arena. Like, it was crazy. No, ma'am, not cute. It's not cute. It's not cute. He said it was taking too long. Yeah, he said it was taking too long. He literally said that. And he said, and then when he was live in New York, he said, yeah, I done told Kendrick, like, I don't know what y'all doing, but yeah, so I gotta get started, So, it was mad funny. It was mad funny. And so, like I said, so now I think they're regrouping, and you will probably, my prediction, again, my opinion, I'm the unpopular opinion, I don't know anything, I'm over here just chatting with some friends. They're gonna regroup, and they're gonna be like, hi, so this is your plan, we're gonna put out your merch, we're gonna put out this or that. To me, I could almost see SZA on their label, to me. But what do I know? Or somebody like that, somebody like that. That's to me. Imani's cool and everything, and she's androgynous and likes to be mysterious. And that's more engagement that she was getting by herself. But people, are not staying engaged, is what I'm saying. So people are not staying engaged, and now she's coming out to do interviews. And I know now they're gonna do whatever. I almost forgot about her. Really, that's a fact. He said, yeah, that's a fact. So that's what people are saying. People, the comments, if you read the comments, that's what people were saying. They were like, yo, I forgot about Imani, because you got to keep the momentum going. If you put an album and you don't even announce it, you got to keep the momentum going. Now, here's the thing. She did have like a video or two videos, two music videos, and they were trying to be cinematic and everything. But people still had a lot of questions, and people like mystery. But here's the difference, because a lot of people like, oh, but Kendrick's mysterious and he's like a puzzle, and people trying to figure him out. But Kendrick let us know who he was. Kendrick done let us know who he was for years. He did. How many interviews do I have? Do you want to count? Because I have an arsenal of interviews. I can't even put them up fast enough. I have so many interviews. As a matter of fact, when I get off this live, I'm gonna put some more interviews. Kendrick talking about, I'm gonna put an interview where he was talking about his family was his he grew up in a house of love and music, and he was talking about that. I have so many interviews, I don't even know where to start. I don't even have enough time to post all stuff, because I do so much stuff. I also run a business, like several, like I'm all over the place. So and I'm hungry. Let me tell you something. If any of y'all had an opportunity to work with PG Lang, whatever, I know y'all will stay hungry. Y'all will act hungry and everything. Y'all be like, do you agree with the rumor that Kendrick will drop in September? Yes. I do believe, I do. I feel like he's gonna drop soon, and I hope it's on Drake's birthday. And I'm saying that into the camera. Is this the camera that's on? Okay, let me take one. I hope it's on October's very own birthday. Cause that's what I was expecting last, like 2 years ago, whatever. I was like, please, it gets spooky every day in October. So I hope it's in October. September will be fine, but it should get spooky every day in October. Yeah, SZA said we know and love her. Yeah, yeah, SZA can freaking blow. That girl can sing. Um, Hi. So Kendrick said you have to do the groundwork. Yeah, you have to do the groundwork. Do you agree with? Okay, so he will drop in September. I don't think he will drop this month because DJ Dahi's release. Right? How you doing, Tip? 8437. So it's almost never a good time, but he will figure out a good time. I thought it was gonna be in July, but it was too, and it was, but then I changed my mind because Imani suddenly dropped in June. So because Imani now, guys, what do you think? If he drops this fall, Imani who? Now I know what they're gonna do because I kind of know what PG Lang, how PG Lang moves. What they're gonna try to do is get all the Avengers on stage. They're gonna have Imani. They're rectifying. So right now they're gonna fix all the, the lackadaisical rollout and all that stuff. They're gonna fix it. They're gonna probably put her out more and about my prediction. They're gonna do this and that. They're gonna have her do random shows, surprise guest appearance, and if he does come out, he's probably gonna have a song with her. Think about it. Of course, he's gonna have a song or feature her on the song because she's a PG Lang brand name now. But he would. I think I don't know. It might give her album a little bit more engagement. They're looking at it both ways. They're looking at it. He's gonna stomp on her. He is gonna step on her, and people are gonna be like, Imani who? Imani who? You get me? People might stomp on her. Um, so and people might be like, forget about her. So it might not be in August. Now it would be interesting if it is in August. It would be interesting if it is in August. So Imani probably has a feature on Kendrick's album. Yeah, that's just what I said. Just right now, she has a feature. I think she has a feature. It would only make sense. It would only make sense that she has a feature. So so that's what they're gonna do. Or if he goes on tour, they're gonna put her on the tour with with Baby Keem, with whoever, you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be like the PG Lang crew. So that's what I suspect he does. Um because a lot of people like, well, he's gonna competing with her in the Grammys. No, he's not, because if he has her on a song feature, he's gonna get the soul out of her. He's gonna get the soul out of her. He's gonna have a fantastic song and make her sound like look at Momo Boyd. Momo Boyd has a kind of alternative sound, and people were like, "Yo, you should do more R&B. You should do more R&B." When she did the song "Good Flirts," she done blew up even more. People, well, of course, it's the PG Lang name, but she done blew up even more, and everybody's like, "You should do more R&B," because she does a lot of different kind of stuff. She could sing, but she does like, if you heard her songs, you know what I'm talking about. Her and her siblings, they sing like a lot of alternative sounding things. I don't need no Keem. Said he was outside. He will not step on Keem. But Keem is almost Keem's tour. I think it's almost done. Keem is gonna be at Spilled Milk, by the way. I forgot that Q. Oh yes, I forgot. Yeah, Schoolboy Q has a new album that he announced. I put it up. I put it up. I put a video on that. I put a video, and not just that, Absol I think has an album coming out too. Absol has been going ham in the studio. Like I've never seen him in that studio this many times. Absol has been in the studio like a lot. Uh let me see. Oh man. Yeah, let me see when Baby came. So So yeah, thank it's called Thank You. So let me see, what days does he have? Okay. Um Baby Keem has August till December 20th. And he's gonna have the spilt milk in Australia, I believe. So it's like in Australia and Paris and London, um to the rest of the days. So he starts this week, guys. He's gonna be in San Francisco. He's gonna be in LA August 9th. And then he's gonna go. He has a break till August 29th, and he's gonna be in London. So Baby Keem's tour ends December 20th. And that's still fine. That's still brilliant. Why? Because Kendrick can feature on the tour. And Kendrick can feature on the tour. Now, if Kendrick features in the European leg of Baby Keem's tour and he doesn't come out in none of the United States, people gonna be big mad at Kendrick. They're going to be big mad. What y'all think? They're gonna be pissed. Kendrick did have fun in Europe. Kendrick had a blast. The most laughing, well, he laughed also in the United States, but the most fun him and SZA were being silly willies on stage. They were just being silly, because I know Kendrick was laughing because one of the things that Kendrick was laughing is every time SZA said, "Give me a run for my money," because she said money. She said it like that, like she was trying to be funny. And so, he was laughing at that too. I don't know if people caught that because when we were in the energy pit, we heard it and we saw his face. And she was like, "Give me a run for my money." Like she kept doing it. And sometimes she said money, you know what I mean? So that's another reason why Kendrick was laughing. But besides that, they thought he was high as a kite. And I know he don't do drugs, he don't really drink and nothing, but they thought that boy was high as a kite because they were like, "What the hell is so funny?" You know how many videos I have of him cracking up in the middle of nowhere? He was just like, "Ha ha ha." He was like, "There is nobody above me, right?" And he was like, "Ha ha ha, not at all." He was cracking up. He was like, like just really giggly. So he can. My prediction is there's a chance that he can pop out. He might pop out in LA in August 9th. And who else is going to LA? Jay-Z is going to be in LA in October. So if he drops, he may pop up in LA. So there's 4 LA nights, August 9th with Baby Keem, and 3 LA nights with Jay-Z that he may pop out in the last minute. But then again, Kendrick is kind of weird because remember how we thought for sure the Black Hippie were gonna pop out on stage on this tour, and the only one was Schoolboy Q. So, and I think Schoolboy Q is one of the ones that works like crazy, that be in the studio. And the funny thing is, everybody thought he was just playing golf. Respectfully, I saw them all. Yeah, yeah, he sure does. He has a lot of fun. So your music diva Imani probably has a feature, yeah. And so now J Rock has also given a hint. He said almost done. He gave a hint like that his album was almost done. So that's what we have for tonight. But so yeah, all of them are all like coming out. Their chemistry is just special. No, it is. And a lot of people hate on me. They're like, "Yo, you married these people on film." Like I'm like, "Yo, I didn't do a thing." But you're not gonna tell me that's not the dynamic duo. What you're not gonna do is tell me that's not the dynamic duo. They just don't miss. Is this camera on? They just don't miss. Go ahead and tell me All the Stars was not the shit. Go ahead and tell me All the Stars was not it. Tell me Luther was in it. Tell me 30 for 30 was in it. You get me? Tell me the Dove song, that's about what was in it. Nah, they just don't miss. They don't freaking miss. And for some reason, like he just gets very happy and comfortable with her. And he picked her. You get me? He could have put Imani out and be like, "Oh, we have a new artist that we've been chilling with her for 6 years." First of all, they've been chilling with her for 6 years. Like, to me, that's strange too, because it felt like they had to develop her a lot, and that's good that they are doing artist developing. But yo, Kendrick was in Top Dog's basement, and he was doing $200 shows. He was doing shows that they were only paying $23 for. He was doing shows and being J Rock's hype man as soon as they could get the hell out the house. It wasn't like, oh, they were working in Top Dog's basement for 20 years, 15 years, 10 years. Nah. Kendrick was still a teenager and he was out and about. He was doing music videos with J Rock and everything. They were putting J Rock out as soon as possible. And they were throwing all them boys out on tour. They like, yo, y'all going, or y'all doing whatever. So, she's been the kept secret and everything. They could put her, they're going to try to put her on stage because people need to know. And she's just going to have to do a spectacular job and everything. And a lot of people were saying that Dolce was gonna be. Some people thought that Dolce was gonna like be rapping with Kendrick. They don't have songs together, so I knew I wasn't sure because I said I don't think Dolce in one of my lives was gonna go on the GNX tour, but she did, and she did what she did with her rapping. She had the crowd going, everything. But she was not going to replace SZA. Nobody was going to replace SZA. I called it. Nobody was going to replace SZA. Because after SZA left, what did Kendrick do, guys? He was like, I'm doing my mission alone. You know how many singers there are out there that they could have just been like, yo, let me feature this one, let me feature. Nah. Like he said in the words, there's no one above you. Not at all. Give me a run for my money. They meant that. Y'all could say it was lyrics. No, there's no that dynamic duo can't be matched. That's like, back in the day in the 70s when they found like name some duos like that, that just works together. Like Womack and Womack. You get me? Like they just sound good. I heard that J Rock said Boom was supposed to be on his album. That would be dope. Yeah, he really does. They are so good together. Yeah. 6 years is a long time. That's what I'm saying. She's been cooking. She's been cooking for 6 years and whatnot. You get me? Imani's been cooking for 6 years, she said. For 6 years. So to me, it sounds like she needed some development, and that's fine. But yeah, Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell, yeah, who is gonna touch that? Who is gonna touch that? Or Rick James, like, and what's that that blue eyed soul, Tina Marie. Who is gonna touch that? Who is gonna touch that fire and desire? Oh, you gonna try to sing Fire and Desire? That's like me saying, yo, yeah, you could do Fire and Desire. Just because you could sing, don't mean you could sing. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Let me say it again, because the folks over here know what I'm talking about. Maybe just a few, but that's fine. Just because you could sing doesn't mean you could sing. Some people could sing and some people could sing. And it's fine because some people are very talented. But y'all, they gonna have to do. Nobody spelled her name wrong. Yeah, let me see. Marvin Gaye's answer. Probably giving Kendrick Reiki lessons. Right. Reiki lessons, centering his chakras. You get me? Centering his chakra, doing a quick spiritual bath. Yeah, doing a quick spiritual bath, saging, Palo Santoing, the whole thing, and was like, Kendrick, we're gonna do grounding now. Take your shoes off and step outside in the grass and let the negative neutrons stabilize. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Maybe I'm too trippy for the average folks. I get it. I get it. I've been told. I've been told. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So if you know, you know. So some people just cannot be duplicated. Ashford and Simpson, Tina Marie and Rick James. That fire and desire. You're gonna try to break that? Who? Nobody has been able to duplicate that. So Peaches and Herb, man, y'all be knowing some stuff. Y'all be knowing some stuff. Y'all be knowing some stuff. So success. So, you know, our predictions, are to finalize our, time together. So everybody, there's a bunch of people with albums coming out. Everybody outside. um Yeah, yeah, they cannot. They can absolutely cannot. And let me tell you something. Kendrick could have another singer when he is singing with SZA. Let's talk about it. When he's singing with SZA, he is free, and they match each other's energy. In that 30 for 30, she's talking about being all spiritual and stuff, right? But what the hell is the lyrics, right? What is the lyrics? Y'all remember the lyrics of 30 for 30? But let me see. Oh, no, no, no. That's, yeah, 30 for 30. Yeah, SZA. Yes, SZA. Yeah. Um yeah, the lyrics, you know what I'm saying? So she was being a little gangster along with Kendrick. She's like a complete weirdo. And I enjoy her weirdness, Sometimes she does things and some of her friends are very questionable. Yeah, but they did that old school thing. They were like, I used to think about immature things. Do you love me? Do you want me? Are you gonna call me like you said you would? So they're literally bringing you back to the oldies because that's what Kendrick loves. He loves them 70 songs that I love too. It's really your phone number. So look what Kendrick's talking about. Some of y'all gonna get washed. He's been threatening y'all for this whole time, telling you what's gonna happen. Some of y'all just gonna pop shit. Some of y'all just gonna talk. But none of y'all really bout shit. Okay, some of y'all just gonna look, lost. And then in the harmonies of SZA, she's still, wiping them down in front of the ninja. She's still talking about minking y'all. She's still talking about putting hands on y'all. If they might get mink, you know. So Yaka, don't let the smooth taste fool you. This is what I've always been saying. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. But then you might get minked. Okay, y'all already know. She said. So that type of gangster stuff is what he likes. And plus, it's melodic gangster. It's like Nate Dogg. Remember Nate Dogg? Rest in peace. He was like melodic. He could say anything with melodies and threaten your, entire existence. So all of these releases are happening. Schoolboy Q. Now, it would make sense that they all would be on stage at one point or another. Now, Kendrick might feature in Schoolboy Q. The album is called Thank You, which is so clever. Thank You. And so they all, I guess, are gonna just be on the same stage, I think, at one point or another. Imani, they're gonna put her in there, Baby Keem, or something. So Kendrick might not. I don't know if he might start a tour. Do you think that he might start a tour? Um, you know, I don't know if he might start a tour right away. But if they don't have a tour, they're going to, and they all plan. So TDE and PG Lang, they all plan because that's how they plan Kendrick's entire tour. On certain days they needed SZA, whatever she had to do, what she had to do, and then the rest of the time they came back. They even accepted a BET Awards and didn't plan it for that day, and then came back because Kendrick knew he was gonna win awards. So but anyways, that's what I have for y'all. I'm gonna be back live. Probably in a couple days. I'm trying to do more often. Oh, I forgot to put my Patreon, all that information. I keep forgetting. But y'all could join the Patreon. I put extended interviews. It's like just where it feels a little safer for all the stuff. I put extended music there. I have a lot of unreleased tracks to put up there. Can never tell about Kendrick. Yeah, he's a mystery. And now he can be a mystery because he gave so much of himself. Look how many interviews he's done. There's so much that he has revealed. So now he doesn't have any other points to prove. And this is what I was saying about Imani. Like, he has already shown and put his time in with connecting with fans, with doing interviews, especially on Big Boys Radio and a bunch of other interviews. He interviewed with almost everybody, everybody that will give him a chance or listen. They him and the TD guys, they went on so many interviews that Absol would just be like sleeping in half of the interviews. Like that interview with the girl that was didn't know what Martin was, and then she interviewed him again, and he was like, she wore a Martin shirt. She's like, I listened to Martin, because he Kendrick got up and left the interview because she said, "What do you do on the weekends?" And he said, "I just chill and listen to Martin." She's like, "Martin, what's Martin?" And then him and Absol, they left the interview. They're like, "Oh no, we're done." So he's done so many interviews that now he can chill. He has so many accomplishments, so many accolades. He don't need a rollout. If you say Kendrick don't need a rollout, he don't need a rollout because he had already set the foundation, is what I'm saying. But when you don't know, you don't set the foundation, it could work, with Imani. And then again, it could be a disaster. And they had to regroup and say, get your ass out there and do some interviews. So that's where we at right now. But there's a lot of music going out. Like I said, Kendrick is probably gonna be in LA. He hasn't popped out in a while, and I think he wants to wait till he pops out so that he might pop out, different random things, fans or community service as he does. But if he pops out, he probably is gonna have a surprise new music or some, like a little diss like song or this like verse like what he did with all them losers and like Young Thug. So he might have a feature like that. And that feature that he did with DJ Dahi, when we hear the rest of the song, I did a little bit of a breakdown in my last live, but when we hear the rest of the song, we're gonna figure out, because I feel like that's a beautiful thread. I feel like that's a love song, but it's also disguised as a warning and a war. And I may be one of the only ones, but just the lyrics told me so. So thank you. Yeah, it's a beautiful ass whooping. Like the ass whooping is beginning. Kendrick, what y'all think Kendrick's doing? That's why I did that video, and I was like, Kendrick, what you doing? He's like, I'm going through some. That dude is planning and strategizing right now and resting, but he and working. He can't stop working. Y'all know Kendrick cannot stop working. I suffer from the same down like uphill battle. Can't stop working. He cannot stop working. He dropped GNX without a whisper. He's like, here, y'all. Good night, goodbye. Then he's like, oh, Ken and friends. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean to interrupt your view. I'm doing a little Super Bowl. Okay, take care. See you in February. And he just be dropping stuff. It's like throws a bomb, a grenade, and runs and goes home. So, but again, thank you. If you want to join the Patreon, I'm gonna be uploading stuff uh probably tonight and tomorrow. When I be going on these upload like marathons for the Patreon, and I'm gonna just I put some of the stuff in the free and some of the other stuff, most of the stuff in the goodies, and I got so much stuff. That's why I'm up to 90 uploads there. Because thanks for the great interview and performance clips. Since it's at your music diva, thank you so much for your membership. Thanks for catching me up. You're appreciated. Thanks for being here. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. I haven't seen some of y'all in a minute, but thank you so much. Oh, look at your pink and green. Lord have mercy today. That's cute. That's cute. That's a little cute. Thank you. Nice to see you. That's cute. um yeah, all the members, all the people, all the subscribers that engage, and even the silent watchers. I see y'all, silent watchers. You silent watchers, we chilling in the cut. Hit the like button. Give engagement. Sometimes people want to chill and just cook or just eat or just laugh quietly, privately. So I get it. So I get it. It's all good. But thank you everybody for being here. All the subscribers. Thank you. And I'll probably be live in a few more days. Oh yeah, I just be saying silly stuff. I just be forgetting what I say. But I'll probably be live towards the weekend again. Depends on, like, what we talking about, what we doing. And sometimes I might just go live if there's not too many topics and we just chill and talk, or have some things to break down, some of the, yeah, favorite Kendrick stuff that we could break down. There's so much lyric to break down. There's so much. And I appreciate, watch the Heart series that I put out, long form videos, Heart Part 1 and 2, the breakdown of that. And I'll be doing more long form reactions. Domani was just in a Rap Radar. I gotta upload that. Him and Ti, and Ti was looking at that boy like, boy, that boy is nice, So he just did that. He's getting more engagement, so I'm happy about that. Um, Wale's tour is successful with Leon Thomas popping out, so it's a lot. Yo, we eating good. We definitely doing good. But thank you so much. Nice to see y'all. Hope to see y'all soon, and enjoy the content. Join the membership. And we'll see you next time.